Hey guys, how's it going? It's Pandalized here with a guide, and in this video we're going to be going over Ascent, which is an incredibly strong Jett map. I just want to say a huge thank you for helping me hit over 500 subs, which is crazy, and if you follow this guide, your Ascent game is going to be stronger than ever before. And to see me using these tactics in game, catch me live on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, and join the community Discord to get involved in giveaways, vote for the next videos I make, and enter VOD review raffles. So hit that like and subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get into the guide. As for skill jumps on Ascent, none of them are particularly hard. One of my favorites is being able to just glide onto the edge of this box. You can play for stairs, you can then also use this off angle onto the lane, and it just means that you can float around this box, play off of it, and it doesn't use any util. If you find yourself on top of this mid link wall, well, you can float between all of these other walls in mid, and they're not very difficult skill jumps, but it does allow you to position yourself for different kills, different angles. But one of my favorite angles is you can actually get on top of this box here. On top of this box with an op, you can actually hold one of my favorite angles in the entire game towards spawn here. If you're on A, you can pretty easily glide on top of the generator, as well as jump onto this box from the ramp here. Getting up here requires an updraft from anywhere on site, unless you use one of those jump bug glitches, but they're very inconsistent and hard to pull off in the pre-round. To begin with, I would like to cover some more Jett mechanic fundamentals. The first being that with your ult knives out, you run as fast as with your normal knife out, so don't be switching between them when you're running around the map. Another mechanic I want to cover are the two types of Jett updraft jump peaks. So hypothetically, if there's an opper holding this angle and you're afraid of jump peeking it normally because you think they might kill you, well, the first type of jump peak is the Jett updraft jump peak like this, where you jump into it, updraft, and then you can strafe out of the way and get the information and they're unlikely to hit you. And the second type is, say you have a teammate who's ready to swing on the opper, well, what you can do is do the reverse jump peak where you jump into the wall and then spin around like this, and what this means is you're drawing the shot away from the opper and your teammate can swing out and tap them. Another trick I love doing as Jett is, say that you're on top of this box fighting somebody in mid and you have to fall off. Well, before you hit the ground, you can just updraft again. The enemy sees you drop off, they adjust their crosshair and you're back up, and it'll allow you to get into another duel. Another Jett mechanic is knowing how to silent drop instead of making a noise like this when falling. Instead, what you do is before you hit the ground, you glide. And it stops this big stompy noise and they only hear the wind noise. One keybind I highly recommend implementing as Jett is binding her dash and updraft to your mouse buttons. This means you can use the abilities without interrupting your movement at all, and it also means that you can roll your thumb across both mouse buttons to do perfectly timed updraft dashes like this here. One keybind I really recommend as Jett is binding your op zoom magnification toggle to your scroll wheel. What this means is that you don't need to take your finger off the trigger to be able to zoom in and out, and it means, say you're holding this angle onto short, double zoomed in, you're posted here, and you hear somebody walking up cat. Well, instead of unzooming to then zoom in like this, and they might have peeked you at that time, what it means is that you can just toggle your magnification and it keeps your options more flexible. It allows you to be more adaptable as Jett, which is what we love. Let's talk about defending A, and aggressively, if we're looking to go for this pick, get your Omen to either flash from tree here, or a breach stun, or even a Reyna flash through the wall, or even a KO flash up top. And what we want to do is pop our dash and try and get on top of this ledge as soon as possible. So you pop this dash with the flash or smoke, you're up here, you get a kill, you smoke yourself off, you drop off. If you and a teammate go for this A main pick, you swing this and you see nobody, get yourself into wine immediately, tuck in, and what this means is your teammate can go play tree, and if you hear steps, ask for a flash, either a breach flash, KO flash, sky flash through here, prep your dash, get the one, try and get the second, and if you panic, dash back in, ask for another flash, and now you should be able to get two, and sometimes you get 2, 3, even 4 kills just by trapping people in this A main area. The first way I like to rifle A defensively is by coming into hell and doing this jump spot. You just bang your head off this roof, and once you spot something, well, you can prep your dash, go for a peek in A main, and if you get your kill, you can jump dash out of there, and now you can play this angle, and if you're getting pressured, you can then updraft and just smoke yourself out of there and strafe around this corner. Similarly, if you get this kill and you think you're getting rushed and this dash is too dangerous, well, you can just smoke here and updraft your way out of here. The second way I like to rifle A defensively is by coming on top of gen box, coming towards the back of it, right side, and holding this angle here. Taking a look at how the enemies clear this, well, they clear here and then they tend to put their crosshairs here, and we're up here. Once we get this kill, we can smoke and drop off and then hold a tighter angle like this. When we get a kill here, we can back off, prep our dash, keep on fighting, and even just dash over towards this box to keep on fighting, and using our escape strategy, same as before, we can escape here, or if you're under too much pressure again, you can just escape here as well. When going for this aggressive A main pick, take this angle, and if you don't see anything for a second, tuck in and have a look up here. As it takes a second for the enemies to jump up here, you might catch the timing. If you see nothing, come back to this angle and try and combine this angle to a very skinny angle like this. I personally like to crouch, and what it means is in this angle, if you get this kill, you can updraft away and it saves a dash. However, you might be worried about holding this angle and people coming up here, but it's impossible to do this jump silently. So you will hear them jump off the bike. This then gives you a chance to tuck in, hold an angle like this, and if you want to prep your dash, get this kill, you can then dash out and you're playing safe. If the enemies are coming A early most rounds, well, line yourself up in the middle, prep your dash immediately and go for a peek like this. Then you want to tuck into the wall, and this allows you in this off angle to get a kill, dash off, and go for another pick. This off angle is particularly strong as people swinging wide will not be checking this close angle. Once you get this other pick, you can back off. Your teammates are more than likely going to smoke this, and now you can get inside of the smoke with your shorty and go for a kill. The first of 3 ways I like to opt defensively on A is behind these double boxes on site. Just making sure that you're in front of this box so that we don't walk into it. I like to hold an off angle here, double zoom, and just occasionally walk wide and just peek. Go back to this off angle, walk wide and then peek, and I get my kill. And then I tuck in, and if I want to swing again, I can swing again, or if I want to, I can then use our updraft to escape. The second position I absolutely love is just playing this gen area. You play this gen box, you get your kill, you then swing to the right, go for another pick. Now you're back here, you pop your dash, you wait for them to swing you get your kill, you dash into sight. Now you can react. Maybe you even want to put a smoke down if you're getting pushed with a shorty, and it still gives you options to just updraft out of there as well. The third position is just holding from A heaven here. It's such a good angle, you have major angle advantage, and this is ideal if you just need to get the pick and get away. Say it's a 5v3, you just need to get the pick and secure the round. Well, you get your pick, you can then dip back here, and if you're wondering if they're still coming out of A main, you can then updraft and just check. One tip when retaking A as Jett is if you put your smoke aiming at this line and then aiming at this line, what this means is you can jump into A, and these one-ways allow you to see the feet of any enemies playing under, and you'll be able to get some free kills. Let's talk about defending B and going for this aggressive pick with a rifle. Instead of holding this pick and walking left off the barrier like this, what I suggest is taking 1, 2, 3 steps, and as soon as it hits 0, 1, 2, 3, we swing, and it means that you can get here as fast as possible into this off angle. You reach max velocity, you can get this first kill, tuck in, prep your dash, go for this second kill, and then you can dash out of there. You can swing yourself off, and now we're playing defensively. Alternatively, if you swing out here and you see nothing, you can just tuck into this angle completely, get a teammate to bait for you, and then hopefully they don't clear you here, and again, you can get this kill. You can then maybe go for another and dash out, or if you feel like you can get a Sova drone or arrow, this is where you just walk up and you begin clearing these angles. You begin then pushing up and going on the flank. If you find yourself anchoring B, there are 2 main ways to play, each with their own goals. The first being that you want to get 1 kill and then dip out of the site for a 5v4 retake, say you've got a Killjoy ult or a Breach ult, and the second way to play is that you get your initial kills and then dip into sight to then play your life correctly, leaving your team in a 4v3, and you should be good for 2. How you play is situational depending on the enemy's economy. If you know their eco and are suspecting a B rush, there's no point in you getting a kill, coming to sight, losing your rifle, and then giving them momentum to get back into the round. Instead, you're much better getting your 1, then dipping and playing a 5v4 retake with the correct util, and you know that they won't have rifles. A few of the ways I like getting my 1 and surviving are on top of this pillar here, holding towards the back of it. You can then get your 1 and drop off. The second being towards stairs, where if you tuck in, you can timing this, you can swing, get your kill, and either dash into CT like this, which can be difficult, or by using your updraft and dashing into CT like this. And the third way I like to play is if you're going aggro and you're holding like this here, you can get your 1, updraft into market, and you're pretty much out of there immediately. All of these leave you in a 5v4, ready for a good retake. A few of the ways I like playing my life on site are playing stairs, getting my 1, and then immediately dipping and coming to this off angle here where you just crouch and you focus on the stairs. You'll be able to hear anybody dropping off, and it means they won't be able to see you. You can normally get 1, and it means you've got your 2 and you're alive. The second way I like to play, and probably my favorite, is by playing this lane angle here. You can tuck in, your shoulder can't be seen, and it means that you can timing it, you can swing, get your kill, you can get a couple, and as soon as you drop off, you can then float and glide towards this angle here. If you crouch on this off angle, you can then focus the stairs, and you'll hear them running up lane, you'll hear them dropping off, and you're not able to be seen from this angle. And if you think that they're holding for you, well, another cheeky angle that you can do is actually just swing and peek them here as well. The third way I like to play is again off of this lane angle. You then get your kill, you can then smoke this off, and what I like doing is running to this headshot angle immediately. You crouch here and then you wait for them to drop in, and from the enemy's perspective, unless they have incredibly good pathing, they come up here, they don't see you, they start clearing the sight boxes like this, they then clear back like this. You should be here ready for a kill, and unless they have extremely good pathing and they tuck in and clear you like this, you should be good for 2. And once you get your second kill, you can then swing and start playing this headshot angle towards anybody else in lane, which is very strong. When it comes to playing defensively on B as Jett, the position I suggest holding is towards market. It means that you can fight B main area, you can tuck in, wait for the person who's anchoring B to take aggro, then you can swing off of them, say a killjoy turret or something. It means that you can back off, you can play this sort of headshot angle as well towards anybody going boathouse, you can cover lane, and it also means that you have the fast rotate towards mid. You can then rotate towards A heaven as fast as possible, as well as have the option of going up short. If B is being attacked very aggressively and you get smoked off, say you're smoked off here, you can smoke off stairs and actually dash into your own stair smoke to help the person that's anchoring B out. Another thing that I love doing that's netted me tons of kills is if you get smoked out, you can throw your own smoke here, jump out of the smoke, and now you're tucked into logs, and it means that you have the cross onto lane. You get the contact, you both swing, and you can just really clean up the B area just from this flexible market position. When it comes to OPing B, I like holding this angle quite tight, double zoomed. It means that you're probably going to miss on the first person, especially if they jump spot you, but you're ready for the second swing. You get this kill, you smoke yourself off, and I like updrafting onto this angle here, and you're ready just for your smoke to fall. You can then get another and drop off, and if they don't smoke you off, you can even prep your dash and then go for another peek wide, dash out, and it means that you can also hold this sight cross angle if they don't smoke you, and even hold this angle onto sight if they end up swinging wide as well. OPing from market is very strong, however you're very likely to get smoked off, and if that's the case, what I like doing is just taking a peek out of here with the op, getting a kill and dashing in, and then immediately updrafting over here and quick rotating into CT, ready for another pick onto this lane angle here. OPing within B site is a high risk, high reward situation, as you're likely to get a kill but then get chased down, and unless you're feeling very confident with the op and being able to swing and peek these angles, then what I recommend is backing off and playing with like a shorty in backside like this here, or by using the op knowing that they're going to chase you. Say you get this, you miss, you can then drop your gun and then play with like a judge or something, covering some of my favorite eco strategies on B. The first, I love getting into this angle here. If you can get here as soon as possible without making any noise, you can then get a sage to either wall this so that they're not going to check you. You can get a teammate to jump peek this and bait, and it's just absolutely fantastic to be able to get a kill or two with the eco, and then you can updraft out of there. Another favorite position is by just hiding in logs here. If you tuck in, logs is absolutely ideal, especially if you have somebody playing market or somebody playing on site as well. They can bait for you, and it means you can run out, and again, this crossfire is just great from anybody playing that lane angle as well. Another great spot is by playing this boathouse tucked in angle. You can get a crossfire with logs. When you hear them come in, you can prep your dash, go for a kill, throw a smoke down, and now you can play off of this smoke. You can then dash back. If you need to play onto site, you can play something like this here, and you can just be a rat on site and just get your 2 kills and hopefully turn the tide of the eco. Another tried and tested method is by playing backside here with a teammate where you can tuck in and they can then fight lane and stairs, and then when they die, hopefully they don't clear you, you can then swing and then get the bomb kill and maybe save the round. And lastly, a spot I see a lot of people playing is just towards this doorway, crouched here with a judge. It means you can get 1 or 2 kills, and if you think that they're just hanging around getting ready to execute in B main, you can actually updraft and helicopter them, doing some chip damage and maybe even getting a lucky kill as well. When it comes to defending mid, there are 3 ways I like to play aggressively and 3 ways I like to play defensively. The first aggressive play I like doing is just by holding this angle here on the short when the barrier drops and taking this fight. Using this cover, you can get a flash, you can take this fight, it's a pretty favorable fight for you, and if you get stuck, you can always smoke this off, dash out, and you're pretty safe to go into market here, or even into CT. The second way I like to play aggressively in mid is by tucking in this corner and swinging top mid like this, and if I see nothing within the first second or so, I'll hold an off angle like this here. What this means is from where we're looking, we have cover over the entirety of mid. They can't go towards B, they can't go towards A, and it's a really good spot to be with an op or a rifle just to be able to cut off the rotations. And again, you can peek intermittently, go for a pick, go for a kill, smoke yourself off, and then get out of there. The third way I like to push mid is probably my favorite, but it's also the most aggressive and it takes the most coordination. You'll need a smoke top mid and somebody to flash you over here. It means that you can run, jump an updraft to here, you then ask for a flash, the flash pops at the corner, and it means that you can peek onto the short angle and kill anybody that's flashed. When it comes to defensively holding mid, unpredictability is your friend here. Some rounds you might want to play inside of pizza, but be actively peeking from pizza, getting your kill and then dashing into market. Otherwise, sometimes you might just want to tuck into this corner and completely play passively and let them clear you. The same goes for market. Sometimes you just want to be tucking, going for this information. Otherwise, you might want to pop your dash, swing wide, go for a pick and dash back in. Or maybe you want to be tucked in, letting them clear you, maybe getting a crossfire with a teammate into CT like this here. And the same goes from playing far back here. Just getting the information here is good. And if you get pushed the whole way back, you can always jump on top of here and jump glide just to get information on what's happening in mid here. OPing mid is incredibly strong as Jett, either holding top mid or towards short for the peak. However, if you're going for this top mid angle, what I like doing is stepping a little bit wider to get off the angle, holding wide like this for them to swing, and if they're not swinging, then tucking in like this here. It means you can hold this cross angle and you can lock off mid for your team to play a 2-1-2 setup, and it means you have mid under control, you've got all the information, and it's pretty strong position. However, if you swing top mid like this, if you know that they're swinging wide, hold wide towards this dark brick, and if you know that they jump peak, then hold for the jump peak here, and if you know that they go on top of the boxes Jett or Omen or Raze or something, well, hold for the swing off the box here. If you're unsure and you haven't been playing mid the entire game, well, holding tight at the box is ideal, as it means that you can react to them swinging wide, and it means that you can flick to the jump peak or flick up top to where they're peeking from the box. Now, once you get this kill, you can tuck in, smoke, and then dash either to market here and then begin falling back and holding this top mid angle again and more towards mid. That means when you get this kill, you back off, you can then cut off this angle like this. Now when you're getting under pressured, you can pull your shorty out, go for a kill like this here, and then you can go inside of your smoke like this and play off your shorty as well. Otherwise, say you're playing towards short and you get this kill, you smoke yourself off, maybe you want to be dashing back towards CT, then you can hold far back like this, just keep peeking off your smoke, going for these peaks intermittently, just swinging wide, getting the information in mid, and then you can rotate off either into heaven or into CT on B, depending on who's getting hit where. When it comes to swinging short, this is such a confidence game, and you have such angle advantage that you can really dominate the enemies and they'll stop peeking you after a while. Once you dominate them enough, well, what you can do is then learn their timings of going mid. You can go for one of these cheeky peeks in mid, or if you think that they're rushing you, you can throw this, go into this, and just start spraying. It'll net you a few kills. And if you see nothing after you peek, you can come into this off angle here, just on a little bit of elevation on this bin bag, and hold this ADS. And what this means is when the enemies come up, if they're scaling, they'll look short like this, they'll think it's clear, they'll come to market, and right at this angle here, you'll be able to pop heads as they shift walk into market. And another way of doing this as well is when you have the op, swinging this is great. This angle is okay, but if you can get to this angle, it's even better. Double zooming, as if we look at how the enemies hold this, when they deady peek, they tend to come here, you're going to be here, and this micro flick that they have to do, the timing of it means that you can net this kill pretty much every single time. And short is just a great way to go for some eco picks with the Marshal or the Sheriff, and it also means that you can buy a shorty if you're feeling pressured after opping or whatever. You can come here, shorty them, and if you see nothing and you get the information that they're running B, you can come mid, swing for this here, you can then rotate quickly if you can hear all the footsteps. A lot of the times I can even just pull my knife out, and by the time they're ready to come out B, you're already here and you're flanking them immediately. When it comes to eco strategies in mid, buying a Marshal or a Sheriff and peeking top mid or towards short are both very viable options, as it means if you can hit this initial headshot, you're now a man advantage up. You're very likely to get away if you give yourself a smoke to get out of there, and it means that you can play the 5v4 correctly, you can drop off, play for the information, maybe just updraft to get the info in mid, and you can stack the site then with your team and give you the best chance of getting that eco round win. The second way to play it is by either playing inside of pizza, these close corners, getting a shorty or something and just tucking in close. Playing tight here as well is very strong. The amount of kills I've got here from just swinging and just blasting people, and if you have a smoke, you're normally able to reload and even get two. And another strategy I like doing is when the barrier drops, one of your teammates goes here, you come here, and it means that you can get this crossfire in mid. If you know that they like playing towards mid market, you can lock this down, get a crossfire, you're here to smoke off and get your teammate out as well as yourself, and it's just a strong way of playing. If you have your knives in mid, you can jump up top of pizza here and go for a mid pick like this here. It gives you plenty of time, and what I do not recommend doing is double updrafting as you're just exposed to too many things and in the air too long. Attacking A is similar to attacking B in that it happens in 2 stages. The first is taking A main and the second is dashing onto the site. When taking A main, you want to be greedy for this first fight as Jett. You want to be swinging, getting full speed, taking this pre-aim fight, and after you take this initial angle, you want to do your due diligence and clearing close for Jetts, omens, anything that can TP away after getting that initial kill. Once you take B main, you're then ready for stage 2, which is dashing onto the site, and I'm going to show a couple of great ways to gain this space, clear the angles, and give your team the best chance of getting on A. Clearing A effectively requires great crosshair discipline and angle peeking hygiene, as they can be in a million angles, and if you just swing this wide, the angle advantage off of all of these angles is so good you're just going to be one tapped. So our pathing and angle cutting should look something like this here. With our backs mostly towards this wall, we want to give ourselves enough space to get up to a good velocity to peek close like this. We then want to be clearing this back cubby here, and then again going back if you don't have enough space to make sure that you get enough velocity to peek here, then again peeking here, and just doing these things one at a time, peeking heaven, going back, making sure you get enough velocity to peek all of these angles, and just focus on your crosshair placement and you're going to be able to get these entry kills. As soon as you get one of these picks, it's a good idea to then prep your dash, and then this is when we can talk about dashing and clearing close and wrapping into the site. A dash you'll see recommended and a lot of Jetts doing is throwing a smoke towards these double boxes and then running up, clearing close, and then pushing into this smoke like this. The principle of this dash is fine, but the execution is a little bit more dangerous than I like doing personally. As to actually reach these double boxes and putting a smoke towards the double boxes, you need to come out much further than I feel safe to actually reach this smoke. What I propose instead is dashing when you reach this shadow, as you're still pretty protected from short, you're very unlikely to die, and it means that we can jump dash and still reach this angle here. What this means is we can safely dash towards this ramp by popping a smoke here, pushing it, and being able to wrap this site here. However, it can be hard to throw this smoke perfectly every time, and sometimes you might throw it a bit shallow, which leaves you exposed to short. In the heat of the moment, it's very easy to throw these smokes wrong, so what I propose instead is getting used to throwing a smoke on both of these ramps here. You throw one here, you throw one here, and it means that you can dash in. If you throw it shallow, you're still covered from short, it gives you plenty of options, and getting used to putting both of these ramp smokes down means that you actually open up the opportunity to do a second dash where you can wrap into generator, and it just keeps the enemies guessing as to which smoke you're going to be going into. It keeps the unpredictability up, and it just gives you more options of getting into the site. As always with any of these dashes, you want to be clearing close left and right just for your teammates, as it's good dash hygiene to clear the close angles. This third updraft is probably my favorite of the bunch, and it involves getting on top of this generator, and what we want to be doing is getting as close to this wall as possible so that we're not exposed to short, close, or far. And what you want to do to get on top of this is prep your dash, jump dash, updraft, crouch will get you on top of the generator pretty consistently like this here, and in full speed with the smoke it looks like this here. So smoke, jump dash, updraft, crouch, and you've got a few options here. You can swing out, peeking close or far, any oppers playing generator or backside on the double box, but one thing I like doing is throwing a smoke just into this wall here, and what it means is you can just jump out of here into the heaven, and now you can cut off all of the fast rotations and you're just an absolute pain in the side for the enemies. If you're playing against a Killjoy or a Cypher and you're worried about all of these trips and the mollies that tend to go towards backside, well, one thing that you can do is actually get on top of this wall and you can glide, prep your dash, then you want to updraft and then throw your smoke towards here and dash onto generator. This means that you avoid nearly every single trip, and it gives us the exact same options as we had in the previous updraft onto the generator. OPing A is very similar to OPing B in that you want to be going for this A main angle as aggressively as possible, and what I like doing is going for a jump peek here, just jump peeking this, going for this initial pick, and if your teammates clear close and you get up here, what you want to do is then clear each of these angles, cutting the pie as methodically as possible with the op. And I like doing crouch peeks, so crouch peeking close, just crouch peeking here, and just cutting these main op angles up. However, an angle that you don't want to necessarily just be peeking dry is this heaven angle, as the angle advantage is just so strong here that if they're opping, you're very unlikely to kill them. So what I suggest instead is after coming to this angle and clearing close here, what you want to be doing is jump peeking, heaven, getting the information, and then even jump peeking yourself out with the op here before then clearing these close angles with the op and posting up. And then when your teammates are running in, you pretty much always want to be posting for heaven, as this is where enemies are going to be running out, and if they have it under control and you're posted, well, if your teammates aren't holding the flank, it's a good idea for you to then hold the flank and just flutter between holding flank and holding heaven for when they run out. On eco, all of these dashes also work incredibly well, but we want to be using the most close range dashes, such as the ones towards the back site here where we can close the distance and get a cheeky kill, well, or towards the gen where we can drop down with sorties, etc. But one tip I have is if you know that they're playing far back with rifles, guardians, marshals, ops, and they're not smoking this because you're on eco, well, you can smoke yourself off, which will allow you a chance to be able to throw a smoke, say, towards generator, get on top of here, say you can get a flash out, and now you can just helicopter somebody with the shorty, and it's pretty effective. If you have your knives, there's a few little tricks that you can do to go for some picks. What I like doing is popping my knives, getting on top of here, and double updrafting. It allows you to go for these picks in back gen, you can see stuff, and you can prep your dash, smoke, clear close left and right, and it allows you some options to then jump out and attack people. But if you find yourself on site without having used your updrafts, one thing that you can do is get on top of this generator, and say in a post-plant situation, or you can hear them rotating here, you can jump updraft here, and just get a couple of kills here as well. The best post-plant position on A is in this corner. It offers the most options as Jett from as many positions as possible. The first being, if you're on top of this wall here with your knives, if this is smoked off by the enemies, you can jump and glide and still be able to kill anybody defusing. You can also play from short off of this platform, you can double updraft, see anybody defusing, and it means that you can swing this with your rifle as well if you miss your knives. You've also got the option of going into heaven and double updrafting, being able to see anybody defusing, and also to be able to play off of your rifle here with the diffuser as well. When it comes to attacking B on Ascent, there are two main stages. The first is taking this B main area, and the second is the explosive pop to make space onto the site. When taking this B main area, line yourself up in the middle of these lines here, and I want you to take a dedicated peek up to speed towards this main angle. Once you've cleared this main angle, you want to be clearing these off angles by cutting the pie, as there could be a Jett, a chamber, an Omen, or a Yuri ready to play these off angles and teleport out. Once you've cleared these off angles and the main angle, put your back against this wall, and you want to be clearing this close angle, as due to the angle advantage, you're going to be able to see somebody in this corner before they can see you, and you'll clear it very easily. Once you've cleared this close angle, you want to come back and then dedicate peek logs. You want to be dedi peeking market, again making sure that you're running up to speed, and then the stairs towards CT, and then towards the stairs on site as well. Once you've got this space, we can now talk about how to entry onto the site. Each of the dashes I'm going to show achieve the same goal of putting the defenders under more pressure. If we look at how the defenders tend to hold, they're very comfortable holding this angle, but as soon as somebody crosses this threshold into boathouse, they're now put under exponentially more pressure as they have to worry about both lane and stairs. Therefore, as Jett, your focus should be clearing these angles, putting pressure towards stairs, ready to play off your teammates' utility, flash, and trade your teammates or be traded yourself. So now we know what our goal is on B, and we've cleared this B main area. We're ready for stage 2, which is dashing in. So let's cover some of the dashes I like doing to give you the advantage and make space on the B site. The first of the 4 dashes we're going to cover is the most conventional. It allows you to jump dash on top of the boat to toggle the switch and close this door. It looks like this in real time. So we pop a smoke, we dash clear close, and then toggle the switch, and we're ready to swing off of our flashes, and we've got all the information. We can then swing stairs, ready to trade our teammates, play off of fades, play off of Sova darts. This second dash is a great counter to anybody playing close, inside of boathouse, on the stairs, or even the CT angle here. We're going to be dashing under this market area, and you want to time this with a KO or a breach flash or a sky flash over these windows here. So what you do is you place your smoke under market, dash in, clear close left and right, then the flash comes out and you're ready to swing and trade these angles on fully blinded enemies. This third dash is my favorite way to avoid cypher trips, which might be close, killjoy mollies, which might be cooking you in boathouse, and all you need is a breach flash, KO flash, or sky flash into market. It looks something like this. You want to be aiming at these logs, and when you cross this line here, we want to be throwing our smoke and updrafting. So we run, throw our smoke, updraft, dash into the smoke, KO flash comes in, you then peek market, kill the flashed person, and now you have 2 options depending on what your team is doing. If your team are all B and you're hitting B, well, what you can do is then push, updraft over this wall, cut off the rotates to A, and then wrap them and help hold the site and take the site. But the second option is that you might do this off the bat, and your team might be splitting A through tree and main. You get into market, and then you wrap into heaven as quickly as possible, and it draws the rotates off from the A players as well. This last dash is a great way to avoid cypher trips, which might be on lane or on stairs, and what you want to be doing is when CT and market are smoked, you want to run out, prep your dash, updraft onto this, and dash towards these boxes here. This allows us to play off the cover if they're playing stairs, and if they're playing close, it makes us harder to hit. We can stay alive for longer, and it allows us to make the space, distract the enemies, and allow our teammates to push in and just trade us. 2 mechanical tips for pulling this off is to make sure A, you're jump updraft dashing to make it backside, and B, to not dash too quickly, as if you jump updraft and dash too quickly, you're not going to be able to make it behind these boxes, what you want to be doing is waiting until you're actually gliding and sliding on this roof a little bit before then dashing. When it comes to OPing B, there's only so much aggression you want to take as Jett, but you definitely want to be taking this initial jump peek towards B main to try and get this pick for anybody peeking close. You can get this kill, and then once you get this kill, it's a good idea to then post up on market or something, as they're going to be wanting to get information on if you're still in B main, and holding this angle is one of the most commonly jump peeked angles. People will peek this, it'll allow you to get another kill, and then based off of this kill, your team can explode into the site. And if you want to be holding B main with the op, what you want to be doing is holding an off angle like this here, holding off this rotation and allowing your teammate to peek off of your contact in lane and on stairs. You can get this initial pick, updraft out of the way to safety, and it allows you to play off of your teammates again, holding these market angles and swinging into CT for the post plant. Otherwise, if you find yourself having to enter into the site, say trades don't go your way and you're in a 1vx, well, you can plant the spike and play this backside angle. This backside angle is one of the best angles you can play with the op, as it allows you to flutter between both lane and stairs. You can hold lane, get this kill, and then go for a peek on stairs. You can flutter between getting these kills. And if you're feeling under pressure, you can pop your dash, pull out your shorty. If anybody pushes you, you can throw your smoke down, you can dash out, play around this box. You're now a nuisance, and it's a good way of just defending the bomb and being a thorn in the side. Because B is such a close range site, nearly every single one of these dashes that we just covered works for ecos as well. Especially this market one, being able to smoke, updraft, dash into market with a flash is such a great eco strategy to be able to get a gun off of them and just crunch down on B site, and it's probably the best eco strategy I recommend doing. Otherwise, just going for picks with the deagle is also great. You know, you get the pick, maybe smoke dash into the switch, close the market to allow your teammates on the site, or what I like doing as well is getting a shorty and trying to go for a cheeky updraft helicopter pick using the updraft dash, and maybe helicoptering somebody with a shorty to get a gun off them. If you have your knives as the barrier drops and you know that they play towards CT, well, what you can do is updraft right away and go for one of these picks, or if they're towards market or site, you can updraft off of this box, see if they're market or site, go for a pick, or if you just want to be entering with your knives, one of the best ways you can do it as well is by just doing the updraft dash and using your knives just to try and go for this initial pick as well. The best post plant your teammate can do is planting in between the arches backside here. This post plant allows you to play anywhere towards B as Jett for a great post plant situation. You can hide backside and play off of your smokes and a shorty. You can then play towards main with your knives. If you stand on top of this box and jump updraft, it allows you to hit the post plant. It also allows you to play towards market. You can hide, and as soon as you hear the bomb tap, you can glide and updraft here for the post plant. It also allows you to play towards CT, where you can tuck in here, hide, you can see the bomb here, and if you need to pull out your knives, you can double updraft and hit them here as well. And it's just a great angle, as you can also get your teammates to ping the bomb, you can spam through, and you can take peeks and dash away quite easily and just really keep the enemies off the bomb. When attacking short, you've got a few options, but the first I like doing, especially on pistol round, is taking this angle dry and just going for this gunfight. I like walking forward, getting momentum, and going for this headshot angle and trying to get this pick. The second way of attacking mid is by updrafting on top of this mid-link wall. You want to hold your knife out and jump, updraft, crouch to be able to get on top of this wall. You can then take a fight early into the CT area here, or anybody pushing close. Hopefully at the start of the round your Brimstone or Omen has smoked here for you to do this play, but you can prep your dash, float over to here, you can clear close, you can clear under, you can take some of these fights towards mid. If you get into bother, you can dash while still staying up here, take another peek, you can feign fall to come back up, take another peek again, but if you see nothing, you can pop your dash, you can ask a KO or a Sky Breach to flash into market, you can smoke here, as the flash goes off, you can then, as it pops, follow it up, get the kill into market. One of my favorite ways to peek oppers, peeking aggressively bottom mid, is to wait until the barrier is just about to drop, you updraft as it hits 0, and then you can float under this box, and you can peek these oppers at an angle where they're more than likely going to leg you rather than body shot you, giving you more of a chance to hit the headshot. A couple rules of thumb I follow after swinging off the barrier is getting off of catwalk and hugging this wall. It allows me to peek market without exposing my head to this short angle. It means we can get the information, and if we want to fight short, we can smoke this off, isolating the fight. And when we're skilling up, one thing I like doing is jump on top of this to be able to peek short, as it just means that our elevation is slightly off, and you win more fights just by having your elevation changed. Another tip when scaling up to market, you can always isolate angles by smoking off CT like this and swinging pizza and into market, or you can smoke off market and rush into CT and just keep isolating these fights. If you find yourself OPing mid and then your team are hitting A and you now become the mid lurk, well, one place I like going is in this corner. You can hold for the B rotation, you're very likely to get this kill, but if you take a step back, you can then just flutter between these different angles in market. You're covered from the B push. You can then just keep on fluttering between these angles, going for these picks, and then once you get this initial pick, you've got pretty much free reign to then come short, be a thorn in the side for the enemies here who are trying to retake A, and just even rotate all the way back and just hold and post for heaven for your teammates. Going for the short pick with the op is very effective. I very much like going for this, going for the peek, getting the kill. However, if you see nothing, double zoom posting here is very strong. People tend to jump spot this, or if it gets smoked off, you can then start scaling up with the op, crouch peeking these angles, locking it down. You can then come into mid, start peeking pizza, start peeking the CT angle, and just start locking down mid, going for these peaks into market. And again, we can get to these sort of angles where we can just help lock it down, let our teammates scale up, and then once our teammates are ready to attack, we can then rotate and start posting up on B main, etc. If you do the bike jump, get on top of here, you can pop your knives, double updraft, see into heaven, gen, and sight. Double updrafting off of this platform allows you to catch somebody coming out of main or running onto sight. By updrafting heaven, you can catch people coming out of main or deny the plants. If you're attacking A, you can updraft off the generator and catch people rotating in. You can jump on top of this fountain, glide, and catch heads in mid. A great angle for B if you're smoked off is crouch updrafting just over this wall. You can catch people off guard in these windows in a multitude of ways by either jumping close or jumping far. This also works both ways by getting on top of this box, jump updrafting onto the side, or just updrafting and catching market or CT. If you updraft on top of here, off of the barrier drops, it's very easy to catch heads here by either updrafting and catching people on short, or by getting a sage wall, you're able to get on top of here and op people or use your knives as well. Likewise, you can do an updraft short here, catch people off, or you can updraft and catch people pushing close on mid. Jumping from pizza allows you to catch people top mid without exposing yourself too much, and it gives you 2 opportunities just to catch heads. A great way to attack short off of barrier is by jumping on this box and then updrafting to try and maybe catch somebody into short, and you can always dash into safety. You can see backside on B in a multitude of ways by either jumping off of this platform or just by simply updrafting and trying to catch somebody backside. When defending A, you can get on top of gen, you can double updraft and try and catch some people who are outside of A main. If you're on this generator, you can float into this corner and double updraft to catch people in tree or coming out of the window. You can updraft before the barrier drops, get on top of this, pop your knives, and it's a very good way of getting a kill into market. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned something today, and if you have, hit that like and subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified of the next videos going up, and I just want to say a huge thank you to all the support that this channel has received in such a short amount of time. If you want to see me using this information live, then head over to twitch.tv/pandalized, and do join the Panda Society Discord to get involved in community events, as well as view our VOD reviews that we do on Sundays, and to sign up for giveaways and private coaching. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.